So the question that we're going to discuss is removing stars from the string. Fine, yeah. So the input that will be given is LWT star star COD star E, and the output they want is LECOE. Fine, yeah. There may be doubt that the program tells us that it's just about removing stars. No, it's not just about removing star, but it's about removing the star and its previous element. Fine, yeah. So let me just explain you in brief. Okay, yeah. So we have lead star star COD star E. Yes or no? Yeah, we have got in this way. Now the star and its previous element are removed. So what we would get? We will get LE star COD star E. Yes or no? Yeah. Again, if we remove the star and E, what we would get? We will get LE COD star E. S on here. Further, if we remove this part, what we will get? LECOE. That's our output. Yes or no? Yeah. You could check. Getting that? Yes or no? Yeah. So for this, we need to program. Let me provide a pseudo code so it would be easy for you to understand. Okay, fine. Yeah. So initially, let me say. I have a string lead star star COD star E. Fine, yeah. Okay, yes. So we are given a string. Now to go through this string, I would actually use a for each loop. Okay, and let me take a variable of that of kind character or data type character and go through this. Okay, fine, yeah. As it is not in the character form, so let me convert into data of character array so I could easily iterate through it. So to char array. Fine, yeah. So this will be converted to character array quite in this way. Okay, yeah. Now in this for loop, I will have to check the first condition, that is I need to remove the star s or no, yeah, and its previous element, that I need to keep in mind. So if I find if the C that is actually going through this one, okay, yeah, if C is equals to star, then what we are going to do? Else if it is not star, what we are going to do? Fine, if it is not star, now we will form a new string which will not contain the star and its previous element. Fine, yeah. So let us name that string, so let us name that character array as new string. Fine, yeah. And that would be of length as that of same as string. Okay, that would be of length s dot length. Okay, fine, yeah. So this is one of the new array that I have formed, and it is a character array whose name is new string. Fine, yeah, and whose length is s dot length. To iterate through this, I'm going to use one of the pointer, that is the next index. Fine, yeah. Now whenever uh, you don't find a star, you find some other element, what we are going to do, we are actually going to bring the C that is actually denoting the L and not the index. So L is brought and it is put in the array, that is new string array, and at the index, next index, Okay, it is actually denoting at the 0th index. Okay, fine. Yeah, then I would increment the next index. Okay, yeah, fine. Yes, now let's focus on this part. As I increment next index, so next index will be pointing over here. Fine. Yes or no? Yes. Now the for each loop will run, and C will come over here. C is denoting the E now. Is it star? No. Then the else condition is executed. Yes or no? Yeah. Else condition is executed. So what will happen? C is denoting to this point now. Okay. Yeah. To E. So E comes and goes into next index, which was denoting over here. Yes or no? Yeah. So E comes over here, and next index is again incremented. Yes or no? Yeah. Again for each loop is run, we find E, which is not star, so else condition is implemented and E comes over here and next index is incremented. Again the for each loop runs and it finds T. When it finds T, it is not star, so else condition will be executed and T will be put into that of the new string array at index next index. So we get over here is T. As on here, again the for each loop will run and we find finally the star, and when we find star, we're going to check one of the condition. If next index is greater than 0, if it is greater than 0, then I'm going to decrease next index by 1. Why am I going to decrease? See, it needs to be greater than 0. It can't be just this part, it needs to be greater than 0. Okay, yeah. So then and then only we can actually remove this part, the star and the previous element to it. Yes or no? Yeah. So for that reason, I'm going to take the next index. I'm going to check whether the next index is greater than 0 or not, and I'm going to decrement the next index. So finally, what is happening is I find a star, the if condition is being applied. Okay, yeah, and the next index, which was actually pointing to this point, now it is brought back to this point. Yes or no? Yeah. Now it is actually pointing to T. Yes or no? Yes. Now again, for each loop is executed and we find a star again, then what we are going to do, we are going to check if next index is greater than 0. Yes, it's actually greater than 0. It's actually denoting over here. Yes or no? Yeah, it's actually denoting 3. It's actually greater than 0. So next index is again decremented. So this T will be gone and next index is actually denoting over here now. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now again the for each loop runs and we find the C over here. C over here. When you find C over here, we can get to know that what we can get to know that it's not equals to star. Yes or no? Yeah, it's not equals to star. Okay. Yes, do not get confused with this C and this C. Okay, this is just like pointer. This C is acting as a pointer and this C is actually a character that is present in this character array. Okay, yeah, don't get confused. Okay, yeah, and then we actually decrement the next index. Okay, yeah, we have actually we find C, so else condition is applied. C goes at the next index, where the next index is denoting to this point. Observe carefully, to this point. Okay, yeah, at index 2. Yes or no? Yes. So C will come and sit at index 2, so this E will be removed and C comes over here. Fine. Yes or no? Yeah. Further again the for each loop is executed and we find O. Again it is not equals to star, so the O comes and sits in this next index. Okay, yeah. So O comes over here. In the similar way, when we go on executing, we find finally the leecoe. Fine, yeah. I want you to try and tell me in the comment section were you able to find or not. And let's code now for this. You can actually use an online compiler. Okay, yeah. So what we do is we create a class, let me say main class, and then we are actually creating a remove stars method. The next index. Okay, yeah. So next index to go through this newly created character array, a for each loop to go through this string, and this string is actually converted to that of character array. And when we find a star, we are actually checking this condition and decrementing the next index. Finally we come over here. If we don't find a star, we actually store that directly. We store the element into that of new string and then increment the next index, and this for each loop runs till that of last element present in the array. And finally we are going to return a new string, and that would actually contain the elements from index 0 to that of the point till which the next index points. Fine, yeah. Finally we could get over here. Let me run this one, and we could find the output as lecoe. Okay, fine, yeah. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Support the channel.